Hey everybody, welcome to Tropical Weather Update. It is September 1st, 2022. Have not done an update in a while because the tropics have been very quiet this year so far. We started out June 1st with an update because there was a tropical wave that hit the Keys in southern Florida, then became Tropical Storm Alex. And since then, there's really been nothing to report from the standpoint of threats to the United States. I am just doing an update today because the tropics are starting to get more active. There still are not any active threats toward the United States, but it is coming toward the Labor Day weekend. We're starting to get into the peak of hurricane season for 2022, and I did want to update everybody that I'm still here. I want to do more updates as conditions warrant, but conditions have not warranted so far. So anyway, let's get into the tropical weather update. As you can see on the screen, this is the long wave infrared satellite view of the entire tropical Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and most of the Gulf of Mexico. And it doesn't look too bad right now, but let's take a look real quick at a couple of things. Up here is a tropical depression that has just formed, but it is moving out to sea, so I'm not even going to cover it. I will note it on the next slide that it did become a tropical depression, may become a tropical storm or hurricane soon, but it will not threaten any interests in North America. So that's good news. So let me erase that. Here's the storm or disturbance that I did want to discuss. This is Invest 91L, and it's been on the map for a while. The models are showing that it probably will develop into a tropical storm and perhaps a hurricane in the next week or so, but it's moving this way, and then it's forecast to move out to sea also, so that's really good news. But conditions change, so we want to keep an eye on this Invest. I'm going to go ahead and give you some more analysis on this. And then finally, there's a tropical wave way out here in near the Azores, very far away, or not near the Azores, near the Cape Verde Islands, very far away. Does not look impressive on the satellite, and it's not something that I'm going to discuss today until it gets, if and when it gets closer to the mainland United States, but that's a long, long ways away. This is the system that's closest and has the most potential for development in the next week or so. That's Invest 91L. So let's go ahead and look at the tropical weather outlook from the National Hurricane Center, and you can see Invest 91L is the one that is the X here, disturbance 1, 80% chance of formation in 5 days, and you can see the direction that it's headed. At first glance, you might be concerned about it because it looks like it's headed right toward the southeast coast of the United States. Fortunately, that's probably not the case. Let's go ahead and do a model run. This is from Tropical Tidbits, one of the best tropical weather websites you can find, and I gave credit to this in the comments to my YouTube video. But this is the HWRF-P hurricane model, and this is Invest 91L. And we're starting out from right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and run the model, and you can see it moves closer to the Leeward Islands, and then starts curving up to the west-northwest and eventually to the northwest, and misses all of those islands, which is great news. As it continues, and you will see it starts to deepen. The low gets to 988, 981, 979, 976, 973. So we'll end it right there. And that's for next Tuesday, September 6th. Looks like it's going to be a tropical storm or a hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean, but likely not moving at all toward the United States. And you can see the motion there keeps it far away, but I think most people want to know, well, what's going to happen after that? Because we're going to probably have, by September the 6th, we're probably going to have a hurricane out there. So let's look at some models that I found. The Tropical Tidbits gives you really good model guidance in addition to what you're already seeing here. Once a system has formed into a tropical depression, or at least a tropical cyclone 1 or tropical cyclone 2. This is just an Invest. It's just an area of disturbed weather, and it doesn't have all the model guidance. But I did find this unique graphic from the South Florida Water Management District, where they track and put the models, all sorts of hurricane models for any type of tropical system, and this one's for Invest 91. They call it Storm 91, and you can see where it is now and it's forecast to move into the Atlantic and then way out to sea. So all of the models are in consensus that this storm is not going to be a threat to the United States, but the model I just showed you, the HWRF, does indicate it will become a tropical storm and or hurricane in the next week or so, and that's also indicated by that 80% likelihood in the tropical weather update itself. So I don't think there's too much to worry about from the storm, but we definitely want to keep an eye on it because it's the closest to the United States and it's the most likely to become a strong hurricane in the Atlantic in the next week or so. Other than that, there's not much to report. Let's go back to the satellite view. There's an area, there's a little bit of cloudiness and storms in the Gulf, in the western Caribbean Sea, but that's not even indicated in the tropical weather outlook as an area of disturbed weather. So we're in great shape so far this hurricane season, but it's certainly not over. We're getting into the peak of the hurricane season now, and through the end of September and first half of October is really when we want to keep an eye on things in the tropics. And I'm certain that this is not going to be the end of hurricane season. There's a lot more to come, and we will keep an eye on it here, and to the extent it's necessary, I will do further tropical weather updates as more named storms occur and as they appear near the United States in some way, so we can track the models and the potential for any threats to the United States or to Mexico or even Canada. So we'll be here. Anyway, keep an eye on the tropics, be weather aware, and thanks for tuning in. And we'll probably do another update next week if this Invest 91 does become a tropical storm or hurricane. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and have a great day. Thank you. Have a great Labor Day weekend.